Hey everybody, it's time for another video intro. Only this time, it's time for another. It's time for this time for another video intro for my Doug Rants on social and current social past and current events and various terrible people and accidents that have happened to unfortunate people. It's time for another one of those. I recorded a new one in 2000. I recorded a new one in 2021 with with two of my real life superhero Douglas Blair Roberts working class costumes. Here is another one of my gimmicky, flamboyant, exaggerated, over the top costumes. And this look right here is my rock and roll sports look, which is my boxing, Muay Thai, Sanda, full contact kickboxing, ball player, ball vehicle, combat sports athlete, rock and roll, sweatsuit attire with the sweat jacket open, a tank top with or without tank top. I'm wearing a tank top in this shot, with or without a tank top, gym trunks, and double socks, and sandals. This look also comes with knee pads and spandex. I don't have the spandex yet, but I don't feel like wearing the knee pads, so just the double socks and sandals, and with gloves, and of course my shades. I also wear, this is not part of the outfit, but I also wear my COVID mask on my chin, because I'm dealing with these days. I'm dealing with a nasal congestion, sinus infections, allergies, and a cold since the weather has dropped, and I need the COVID mask to breathe without sneezing and suffering uncontrollably, and to also protect myself from various other colds and other people's colds, and keep people protected from me. This video will also be the first time that I not only come out to the traditional Sonic What I'm Made Of. Actually, the Sonic What I'm Made Of will play first, but I will make my entrance to a pro wrestler theme. To see what that theme is, you gotta wait till I start the intro. So, with that being said, let's get this party started right now. Let's show these people what I'm made of. Let me show you who I am, what I'm here for. Trying to reach inside of me, trying to gain my energy. Let me show you just what I'm made of. Simple curiosity.
what I'm made of now. Get up, I'll never let up. Ferocious, I'm fed up, dismissing the competition. You're hopeless, I trash their ambition. Listen, you wanna pass on tradition? On one condition, forget the best of the century. Talk about the best of all time, you better mention me. Essentially, I'm the best there's ever gonna be. I hold my ground, you never take it from under me. Don't run to me, so I'll be trouble. I hit you so many times, you see triple or double instead of one of me. I got more heart, more weight to tear you apart. I lay you down early on, or maybe in the later round. It's no different to me. If you tap out, cash out, or suddenly pass out for free. Cause you're face down, really, you're barely alive. Cause I'm an animal inside, hear me? What the game is supposed to be, hopefully you see what I mean. Knock you out, haven't seen, you were beaten by a triple team. Box you out the whole scene and gleam. The limelike's my dream, I shine bright. Smash you, front to back, you gon' need hindsight. In fact, when I attack, you're lucky if I leave you intact. I'm prone to overkill, I work you over till I steal your motor skills. It's the same, whenever I'm done, you're numb, hold a thumb. And most can't remember their name, or where they're from. And some speechless, stunned, looking deaf and dumb. You're weak like 7 days, you dead afraid, I'm amazed. What? Y'all still step up, cause I hit more men than Jenna Jameson in better days. You can't clear your heads, you with a Jenna Hayes.
Hey everybody, it's now time for my third rant on Willie D. To see the previous two versions, click the link in the description box below. This is also my second rant on Willie D, once again as a real life superhero, wearing one of my real life superhero costumes. And as you saw by the intro, I'm wearing my boxing ball vehicle sports combat based costume, one of those costumes. Yeah, the reason I decided to redo this video is because in the first one I accidentally talked longer than I wanted to, which is why that one version will be uploaded without an intro. So with that being said, let me get started right now. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. Yeah, Willie D. Yeah. Yes, as always, once again, yeah, like I said in my previous daytime other real life superhero video rant on current and past events, Willie D is everything I can't stand about Afro-Americans and rappers. Rappers. He is every terrible thing. He is everything I don't like. He in my opinion, is no different than Tyreek Nasheed, Umar Johnson, which is funny. He has no problems with those two because he's a fraudulent human being, just like those people. And Patrice Cullors, the former members of Black Lives Matter. In my opinion, all of these people are race hustlers and frauds. That they use pro-black and Afro-American culture and history as their hustle to make money. And it pisses me off with Willie D. Willie D, one of the reasons I decided to rant on him and tackle him first is because he really gets the criticisms and L's he deserves for what he's done and for what he's pulled. Only a few YouTubers online have ever called Willie D out on his BS. Willie D, this lame, washed up rapper and boxer from the 90s, is actually considered a hero by lots of people and has a huge following and a huge bunch of stands. If you do a rant on Willie D and he becomes popular, people will attack you and accuse you of being a hater when you rightfully call Willie D out on his BS and fraud charges, which I'm about to get to in a minute. Yeah, the only 4 people that actually ran on Willie D. The first was Tommy Sotomayor, one of his old channels that has now been taken down. Tommy Sotomayor, where he pointed out the hypocrisy in Willie D, who released those 2 cheesy coon songs about how Willie D was in his youth was thugging and bugging and was teaching people to thugging and bugging during his time as a rapper with the Ghetto Boys. And now that he's older, washed up, he's now trying to fake positive and be conscious and be conscious. And he made cheesy songs called "Where the Coons At," and he's an Afro-American from the previous generation who has nothing to offer the current generations, and is nothing now but begging, just begging for money. Then you got the second guy to talk trash about Willie D was Sean James, YouTube personality, social media personality, and cartoonist Sean James in the comment section of Tommy Sotomayor's video. He's the only other one to talk trash about Willie D, and call him out on Willie D on his bullshit. Number 3, the third guy on his old channel that was recently terminated. It's not on his new channel, but Organic, the Maze Runner, the Blade Runner, the Millionaire, the Illionaire. He has multiple names. Or Kid Organic, that guy. He's the only other guy to talk trash about Willie D. 4, O'Shea Duke Jackson, who I just remembered at the moment. I said 4 people. This is about to be 5. And 5, it's about to be 6. I saw a guy do a short video ranting on Willie D's wire fraud charges in 2009 and 10. But the last guy, and this is the biggest one, he has the most videos. And even though his videos are now about to be 5 years old now, they're still relevant several years later. And that is Willie D. That is and that is the keyboard musician who, in my opinion, he needs to make a comeback. Yeah, and he's one of the biggest inspirations for this video rant right here. So yeah, these are the people to call out Willie D on his BS. Willie D is one of these lame wannabe pro-blacks. One of these lame wannabe pro-blacks who was, first off, unqualified to be a leader in any brown person, Afro-American, or any race community. Let's look at Willie D's resume. Resume. In the mid 80s, shortly before graduation, he was expelled from school for fighting and never returned to school. And since he never returned to school, that's going to lead to 2 things I'm going to talk about later. He has no job skills except being online, talking to a webcam, begging you for money, asking you to join a pointless movement. That's all he does. 2, which brings me to number 2, mismanages money. He had millions of dollars from his hip hop career, but has none of it now. Now instead has to ask for various donations. You have millions of dollars. What happened to it? Yeah, mismanagement of your money. Yeah, this is trying to be a pro-black. And the third one is in the mid to late 80s, and even in the early 90s, back after his rap career started. Willie D held up and robbed numerous gas stations, and stores. He even has some kind of auto insurance. Not insurance, but he even has some kind of he has some money. He has some money scam involving an automobile. I don't want to say automobile insurance fraud. I don't want to say that, but he has some legal issues pertaining with something to do with a car. I don't really feel like looking it up again. But yeah, yeah. And once again, that crime was also just like the robbing the store. That was after he had already become famous, already become a famous rapper. So yeah, and speed then his career. And another thing he's known for, he's a amateur Golden Gloves boxing champion. Instead of taking his skills to the pro levels, like Floyd Mayweather Jr., who has a similar resume to Willie D, and that they both never completed school. Instead of taking his skills to the pro level, now he decided to become a cheesy, lame gangsta rapper, and then he comes at people like Kanye West, saying Kanye West would not survive in the '90s era of hip hop. Well, Willie D would not survive in the '90s era of boxing. The Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Tommy Morrison, Prime, Riddick Bowe, Buster Douglas, Lennox Lewis, Razor Rudick era of boxing. He would survive in that era because in his third only professional fight, he got his ass knocked out. I think he got his ass knocked down in like the first or second round. The first two people were scrubs, especially the second one, who was a fellow rapper like him. The third one was a legit professional fighter and handed Willie D's butt to him. So yeah. Yeah. Then going back then, now since he didn't finish school, and then of course since he didn't finish school in 2009 and 10, he committed wire fraud. He committed wire fraud with some fake Apple phone technology where he chose, like keyboard musician said, he used some kind of postal Photoshop service to create the illusion of some fake iPhone technology that he intended to sell to international buyers. And you know why he chose international buyers? The quote keyboard musician, he chose them because if they get screwed, sorry, just checking the time. If they get screwed, which they did, they don't know anything about the United States. They don't know who to contact if they get screwed, and a similar thing happened. But he managed to defraud each of them, that to the point where they all banded together. All the victims of his scam banded together, and together got the FBI to look at and investigate Willie D. Willie D was forced to plead guilty to a couple of years in prison, which Willie D, by the way, never mentions this. Unless you go on Wikipedia and read it or watch the keyboard musician's videos, he will never bring this up. Yet he brings up Willie D brings up everyone else's past, including Candace Owens' past. And what he did was worse than anything anyone he's ever criticized ever did. But yeah, and when he does mention it, he either downplays it or tries to put it off as, oh, here's me a pro black fighting for my people, and that they had to put another Afro-American and brother in jail. Nah, you're a criminal and you got caught red-handed, like keyboard musician said. So yeah, so since he was desperate and it was broke and had no money, he had to pull that scheme. And once again, he's trying to be a pro-black. So no high school education, robbed numerous stores between the 80s and early 90s, committed various crimes, and now that he's washed up, he's trying to be a pro-black. And then, like keyboard musician said, when it comes to Willie D, Professor Griff, Umar Johnson, and Tariq Nasheed, their scams are similar. See, since they know that bad things happen, unfortunately, every day in the world, and every time, they choose which bad incident to talk about, and they talk about it in the webcam, and they ask you to donate and join a pointless movement, which keyboard musician hilariously and awesomely pointed out, a movement that has no track record, that's never done anything, or never got any work thing done, or never moved anywhere. The movement is just them begging for money so you can be paying their car note, house bills, and a special other restoration, something like that, fee that Willie D also has to pay. That's $200 that Willie D also had or has to pay. And this really makes me respect the real life superheroes. You know, they get mocked, but they're out there actually doing things to help their community. Their community. Willie D and the rest, they're just sitting around talking about it. And people try to say, oh, well, they're handing out knowledge. They've been handing out knowledge for the past 10 to 20 plus years, and so far nothing has change. And then they're trying to say, oh, they're trying to make us aware. We're already aware. We've been aware for a long time. For a long time. The goal is to stop and prevent these terrible incidents, these terrible people, these innocent people from being killed and victimized and stuff. The goal is to prevent all of that, not sit there and talk about it, which is what all Willie D does. That's all that, and attack other people who don't agree with him. He calls them coons. He's not. You never actually see him doing or donating anything to other Afro Americans that he claims to care so much about. Which brings me to my next point. He bashes people who are more credible and more successful than him. Charles Barkley was a beast and was a basketball champion and star. And here's Willie D, a washed up rapper and stuff, coming at Charles Barkley just because Charles Barkley made a controversial comment about slavery, and constantly, as anyone should, brings up the terrible and stupid people in Afro-American communities. Willie D even came at Michael Jordan. I'm not even going to talk about the Michael Jordan one, but not only is Michael Jordan way more successful and credible as a role model and leader in the Afro-American community than Willie D, but I don't even understand why he hates Michael Jordan so much. I don't even understand the Michael Jordan one. Then he came at Ben Carson. Ben Carson, one of the first Afro-American neurosurgeons who performed one of the first brain fusion, and also helped save some people during one of the riots. So Ben Carson is more of a hero than Willie D. Yet he's a coon. He's a coon at Uncle Tom because he made a controversial comment about immigrants being runaway slaves. He comes at Kanye West because Kanye West says slavery was a choice. And no, the Kanye West one was big because Willie D tried to be a bully. He tried to bully Kanye West. He tried to be a bully actually he did this twice. When in 2020 when Kobe Bryant died, Willie D. Now I've done stuff like this, but even I in this moment wouldn't do something like this. When Kobe Bryant died, that was a tragic moment and experience that is still talked about and felt to this day. That was a time of mourning. That was a time of mourning. Willie D tried to make it a race thing by him saying, oh, what happened to Kobe Bryant and his family, oh, it should have been flipped to happen to Charles Barkley because of his statements. That right there. Then his second one was even worse with Kanye West. When Kanye West's mother died from her illness, Willie D tried to say, oh, Kanye West's mother didn't die from whatever it was she died from. No, she died because she gave birth to a so-called Uncle Tom, coon, Sambo saying, boy, and they got rightfully attacked by a bunch of people. Got rightfully attacked by a bunch of people. Yet Willie D tried to play it off and says they were trying to bully. They were trying to bully. They were trying to play up. They were trying to bully him when he legitimately rightfully made some insensitive comments and got insensitive comments at the wrong time and got on. Like I said, I've done crap like this, but I wouldn't do it in that moment. I wouldn't do it in that moment. Right in those two moments right there, man. And Kanye West is a better rapper and was way more and was way more successful than Willie D ever was. Then he comes out of Candace Owens. He constantly mentions Candace Owens' controversial 2007 NAACP lawsuit where Candace Owens sued her school for white people who were supposedly racist to her. Candace Owens clears this up in one of her videos, but Willie D constantly mentions it. But he doesn't mention his wire fraud or his criminal past, and then he attacks people like Candace Owens, calling them coons and cells and Uncle Toms because they call out the BS, they call out the BS and the problems in Afro-American communities. And here's what I can't stand. These people expect us so-called Uncle Tom sellout coons to when it comes to Afro-Americans, focus only on the positive things they do and ignore and never talk about, pretend it doesn't happen, all the bad things. Only focus on the positive. Only point out their pros, but not the cons. See, that's one thing I can't stand about wannabe pro-blacks. You like it when people are kissing your ass and giving you praise, but when they tell you your problems in your community and all the BS and call you out on your BS, they have an agenda. They're part of the Illuminati. They're agent for the white man. They're agent for white supremacy. You shut the hell up. No. They're educating us on fraudulent people like you. Then you get the audacity to say Candace Owens and people like Kanye are moles are there to provide the division amongst Afro Americans, and also this was the biggest one to what was the second thing? To hold down Afro Americans who are on the move. Oh, that's holding people down. Not only be robbing people and doing the wire fraud stuff he was doing back then. That's all Willie D does is make two cheesy songs about coons, calling out people like Charles Barkley, Steve Harvey, Stacey Dash, Raven Simone, and many more people. What is he actually doing to help Afro-American people? Then, the one time, this is another reason why I will never support Afro-Americans on any movement, will never ever be on their side. The one time where coons, so-called Uncle Toms, sellout coons, conservatives, Democrats, pro-blacks, non-pro-blacks, whatever you are, the one time we should have all came together as a community was when Patrice Cullors, former leader of Black Lives Matter, was exposed for fraud for using the $92 million she obtained in donations to purchase mansions and various other stuff. Now we let her get away, and instead Willie D and the Afro Americans were more offended by Kanye West and Candace Owens wearing White Lives Matter t-shirts. But we let a woman defraud multiple innocent people out of $92 million. And watch this, Willie D. When it was brought to his attention, him and the rest of the so-called pro-blacks who stood up for Black Lives Matter, they couldn't admit they were wrong. They couldn't accept the L. They couldn't accept the L. The fact they got old and the truth about Black Lives Matter was exposed. Willie D, he actually had no problem with the crime. He tried to bring up a series of white people and Donald Trump crimes to excuse what they did. And of course, you know why? You know why he did that? Because he has no problem. He has no. Not only why he did that. You know why he has no problem? Because he will do the same thing. He is the same fraudulent human being as Patrice, Cause that's why him and the rest have didn't care at all about this, but they were so offended by the White Lives Matter. They were so offended by the White Lives Matter T-shirt. So yeah. Then Willie D talks about he always brings up his amateur boxing background. He always talk about putting his hands on people who he know won't or can't fight him. He talk about putting his hand on Charles Barkley. I don't care about Willie D being a Golden Gloves champion. I want 3 to 5 rounds with Willie D. I want to send him to I want to beat his butt and send him to the nearest retirement home, or release wherever he came from, because Willie D, he's the same age as my uncle. He's 56 years old. Still 56 years old, still pretending he's gangster. Like Tony Sotomayor said, 56-year-old still trying to call third war and gangster shit, and it's embarrassing. I can't stand when these lame, washed up, crusty, Eustace bad-looking motherfuckers like the Croc guy, the Croc guy, the Croc guy YouTuber, the Croc guy who does YouTube rants and videos on various rappers, and he called out the old heads of hip hop for always hating on the younger generation, which Willie D he's that too. He did that crime too. He bashed the younger rappers, saying all their music sounds the same. All of his generation's music sounds the same. It's even more dated and trash. Still first off, being irrelevant as hell and still trying to come out and be relevant several years later. Like I said, he's like washed up as a rapper and boxer. Now he's trying to use Afro-American culture, history, and social and past events to stay relevant. Like I said, everything I hate about rappers and Afro-Americans is Willie D. I hope he sees this one day. I'm gonna do multiple videos calling out Willie D. I hope he sees this one day. I do want a boxing match with Willie D. So yeah. Is there anything else? Hold on. What else about Willie D? Yeah, this has been my is there anything else? Yeah, so yeah, I got covered everything. So yes, Willie D. So yes, Willie D. Everything you hate about Afro-Americans and rappers. And once again, another guy, the most unqualified guy, the most fraudulent and most unqualified guy, is now trying to be a pro-black. And like I said, people consider this guy. That's why I did this rant. Not many people call this guy out on BS. There are people who, like I said, who consider him heroes. Oh yeah, one final thing. And then he was part of the group, the Ghetto Boys, like keyboard musician said. Not only is he washed up as a rapper, first off, I've never noticed or cared for his rap career. Never noticed or cared for his rap career. And now that I've seen his music, I thought all of his music was garbage and like keyboard musician said, detrimental and made Afro-Americans look bad with cheesy songs like writing cheesy songs like It Feels Good to Be Gangsta. And I felt the other two members of his group, Scarface and Bushwick, I think that was his name, who's now deceased, the second guy, I felt they were the talent in that group. They were the talent in that group. Willie, he tried to go solo. Go solo, garbage. At least Scarface halfway made it solo. He's a Christian rapper now, and Bushwick, up until his death, halfway made it solo. But not Willie, not this washed up
not this washed up motherfucker Willie D. So like I said, then because he didn't finish school, he had to resort to wire fraud and various other crimes, and now has to get online and talking to a webcam and beg for money. Like I said, no one, like keyboard musician said, another line I'm gonna steal from him, a funny line says, no one's giving you money for that. Take your butt to work somewhere. Well, like I said, now I'm finished. Sorry the first one took so long, and I took a little bit longer here, but at least I finished at the right time. You don't want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
The man, you got him, and you can spot him every Thursday night on TNA. It's like a spotlight and main events in his DNA. Who you say? Mr. Angle, Benito, settle. Best in the world, only guy in this world with a gold medal. Feature both ends for the center. Physical and mental, cause he's simply better. The rain around with no second attached. And lay it down for a 3-second nap on the mat. Staring at the ceiling on your back is appealing. Get yourself a match and you gon' do that. It's a rap, trapped in the game. You a rat in the maze, it's the maze how I made my name. My fame is a runaway train on the track. I fight like my life's on the line every night. In fact, that's why I'm gonna take that strap.